Once we had finally set up our dining room, it became more of a display than a space we actually used. We much preferred the warm, lived-in charm of the kitchen. That had been our habit for years. I had even set up my workspace there. A desk with an intricate design and plenty of room to organize everything just the way I liked. I'll admit, I was a bit of a neat freak. I also loved how the gentle, diffused light filtered into the room. It gave the space a quiet elegance. Then she entered. The sharp, rhythmic tap of her new heels echoed across the floor like a warning bell. She called my name, but I was so immersed in my work that I didn't answer right away. Only after finishing what I was doing did I call out, "I'm here. Can you come in for a second?" With a visible sigh and a roll of her eyes, she appeared in the doorway. "What is it?" she asked, clearly pressed for time. I reached for her, pulling her into a hug. At 47, she still carried herself with striking elegance. Her figure had remained almost unchanged over the years, toned, shapely, and untouched by the effect of childbirth. Her bust was just the right size, not exaggerated, but undeniably appealing. She maintained nearly the same weight as when we first got married 27 years ago. I had always adored her chestnut hair, and I couldn't help but feel a twinge of disappointment when she dyed it blonde 4 months ago. It just didn't feel like her. Maybe it was just me being nostalgic. "It'll only take a moment," I assured her. "Besides, I have a feeling that meeting of yours might not even happen." She groaned with exaggerated flair and dropped into the chair across from me. "Fine, go ahead," she said. "I just need your honest thoughts." I began. "Don't treat this like a hypothetical. Be real with me. In your opinion, how would you assign a monetary value to intimacy with you?" She stared, confused, but I pressed on. "You think different acts have different rates? Escorts charge differently based on what's involved, right? I don't know the exact numbers, but I imagine it's not cheap. So help me out. I need a baseline for a project I'm working on. Do you think you're more like a high-end companion, or something else? Should I account for things like enthusiasm, skill, mood lighting, lingerie, even treats like strawberries and wine?" I watched her expression slowly shift. Her lips parted slightly in disbelief. "What are you even talking about?" she asked. "This is ridiculous, Donald. Not funny at all. The use of my full name?" A classic sign she was irritated. "Ah, so now it's absurd?" I said calmly. "Kind of like everything since you started cozying up to Jameson. That is his name, isn't it?" She stiffened, lips tightening. "Jameson? What a ridiculous name. He's nothing but a small-town guy trying to play corporate. His buddies call him Jimmy Jam, and honestly, that suits him better. Sounds like a wannabe rapper from the sticks. Truck songs, beer, and maybe an affair with someone else's wife." Her glare hardened. I braced for impact. "I told you there's nothing going on," she snapped. "He doesn't even mean that much to me. Is that really what this is about? If you say his name again, I'm leaving." I grinned. Couldn't help myself. "Jameson. Jimmy Jam. It has a ring to it, doesn't it? Like an artist trying to rhyme pickup truck with marital misconduct. I think he's got a future." Her eyes darkened with realization. She was starting to see where this was headed. "I'm sorry, Sherry," I said with calmer tone. "I got sidetracked. Let's refocus. At first, I hadn't want to come here. But over time, this place started to grow on me. My career was going well, and I was starting to appreciate the surroundings. Just yesterday, I played a round of golf. In February, no less. The weather's been erratic, but I decided to stay. You know what I love most about this state?" I continued. "It's one of the few where you can still sue someone for stealing your spouse. Alienation of affection, it's rare these days, but it still exists here. You just need the right evidence and legal angle. That's why I've been gathering documentation. Video clips, witness statements, a detailed timeline. I'm compiling a comprehensive report." Then I turned to her, leveling my voice. "But you could help. You could clarify something for me. What would a night with you be worth? Like a consultation fee, if you will." My lawyer had found the idea both amusing and promising. The legal implications were interesting, potentially precedent-setting. It could shift how these cases are viewed, maybe even result in more financial settlements. This could help both sides, I explained. Once the divorce is finalized, we stop sharing costs. No formal notice required. Just visit the office, sign the papers. Think about how much you and Jameson could save on gas and motels if you moved in together. He does have a spare room, if his wife agrees. I pause to let that sink in. By the way, I've already spoken with her. She'll be using my research for her own case. Sherry's face went pale before her body slumped to the floor. Not a fall, exactly. More like she deflated, collapsed in silence. So much for expert consultation. I printed out my findings, folded them neatly, and placed the papers on her chest. She'd see them when she woke up. As for me, I had dinner plans with Mrs. Jimmy Jam. There's a barbecue place in town that's unbeatable. Hopefully, Sherry understood that once that door closed today, it was locked for good. Speaking of locks, I needed to change them. Sherry called me 10 times that evening. I had to mute my phone just to enjoy the meal. Mrs. Jimmy Jam was telling one of her usual stories, laughing about her husband's double life. She was thinking of writing a book, Life with a Dog. Turns out Sherry wasn't the only one. She even offered to share the addresses of the other wives so I could pass my plan on to their husbands. One coordinated strike was better than chaos. But things were far from over. Sherry wasn't ready to give up. She apologized, promised it was over, and begged for another chance. For 5 months, she tried to repair the damage. But eventually, she signed the divorce papers and left. By then, Jameson had drawn media attention. The judge, an old-timer with 2 ex-wives, let me testify. The courtroom burst into laughter when Jameson tried to blend in. Turned out he owned half a car dealership. The outcome was more than I expected. I got a larger settlement than anticipated. Mrs. Jameson got the house and a chunk of the dealership. She later shared my research with 3 other husbands. Turns out Jameson was lucky to still be selling cars, let alone owning part of the business. For 3 years, I avoided dating. Then I met her, a redhead from the country, a widow with 2 young sons. I started coaching their soccer team. At first, we didn't click, but something shifted. She teased me about my gentlemanly habits, holding doors, pulling out chairs. But after our 3rd date, I'd had enough. If you don't want to be treated like a lady, that's your call. I told her. But with me, that's how you'll be treated. If you prefer something else, go back to it. She looked confused, but quietly waited as I opened her car door. We rode in silence. Later, at her door, she apologized. I explained I was raised differently. My grandfather taught me that a woman should be treated like a lady in public and a partner in private. And in that private space, I asked, I treat you as someone truly special. It's not about power, it's about connection. She smiled, eyes catching the moonlight. The next morning, we were late picking up the boys. Her mother gave us a knowing smirk. A year later, we sat the boys down. In 5 months, I said, I'll be your new dad. They cheered. I joked with the eldest that he'd carry the ring. The younger one asked, what's my job? Well, I teased, we need a flower girl. He looked heartbroken. I'm kidding, I said, pulling him into my lap. You'll carry the ring, and your brother will be my best man. They agreed without protest. And that's exactly how it happened. 5 years later, I still laugh when they complain about babysitting their little sister. As for Sherry, I never saw her again. According to my brother, she lived alone, juggling 2 jobs to make ends meet. It was as if she vanished. And honestly, I don't regret it. Not the affair, not the divorce. Sherry's betrayal freed me. Because now, I'm with someone who gave me a daughter and a life I truly love. My only regret is wasting 27 years on someone who never really valued me.